Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my 2025-2026 early NFL predictions. Check it out. Sorry for the tank top. I apologize. It's having a big heat wave going around here. That's why I'm wearing a tank top. So, anyways, we're at this time of the year with preseason training camp in the NFL. Probably one of the best times of the year. You know, NFL season's here. Anyways, this is my early predictions about the division standings, how they're gonna go, and see what they can do from there. Also, I got something in the end for that to show you guys to check out, and also, I got some stuff. I got 7 more slots in my NFL fantasy football. I've put that link down below, down there. So if you know people who want to join fantasy football, come join my league. Tell them it's a free league. Everyone can join. So we'll have some fun with that this year. Anyways, continuing on with the early predictions. I'm going to do something new this year was part of that's fantasy football and something else I'm going to show you in the end. But anyways, continuing on with the early NFL predictions, if you're new to the channel, this is the time of the year for the NFL when I do the early predictions for the division standings, how I think it's going to play out this year. So we'll see. But anyways, kicking things off, I'm going to kick things off on the NFC side. We're going to do start up for the NFC South. I think this is going to be a very interesting division this year. I could see a couple of teams going to be really contending this year. Well, one team in particular, and one could really surprise us. But anyways, continuing on, I think who's going to get the division in the AFC South, I think it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not going to lie, I've been a Baker Mayfield guy for a little bit. I kind of like Baker Mayfield, what he's doing with Tampa Bay. He is actually carrying on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise after Tom Brady retired. You know, he had a dismal run. He had one good playoff run with Cleveland. They deserted him after that. He had a couple of bad runs. And he went to Tampa Bay, and he's having success. So, I actually like what about Tampa Bay is doing with this. How they're rolling with it in the division. They've won the division the last 3 years in a row, but it's been a weak division for a long time. I don't see that to be the case this year for Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay has definitely improved on the defensive side of the ball, especially on the secondary, which I believe they were not the best at that last year. So, anyways, for that, I think Tampa Bay is going to win that division, and I have them as my number 4 seed in the NFC. Second place will surprise you guys. Second place, I got Carolina. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think Carolina is going to be moving on up with the Bryce Young situation. Bryce Young to prove himself at the end of the year last year. I think he's going to be good enough to do it again this year, but I can't see a playoff contention for Carolina yet. But I think down the line, maybe in 2027, maybe. If they can play their cards right. But anyways, I think continuing on, I think they're going to be scoring second place, but I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs this year. I got them at 7-10. Of course, Atlanta hasn't really impressed me with anything in the offseason, but I'll give them credit of the doubt with that one, so I'll give them third place. I'll give them 6-11. And the one who I think the worst is the New Orleans Saints. They haven't really done much at all in the offseason. So I actually think they're probably going to be you heard me correctly? I think they get the number 1 seed in the draft this year. Yep, you heard me right. I think New Orleans is going to get the number 1 seed in the draft. I got them in 1-16. All right, let's head to the NFC East. I got the defending champs still hanging on in the NFC East. They're going to go as the best in the division in there. 13-4, number 1 seed. And of course, deja vu all over again. I think it's going to be the Washington Commanders in this game, in this division in second place, but for enough for a wild card, I think. Because I like what the Commanders did last year. They have a thing going on. All of a sudden, they got a new ownership. They got rid of Daniel Snyder. They're contenders again. So that's what I'm thinking. But I think for my problem with Washington, if they went to another division like the NFC South and they switched it over to like Carolina, they could probably win that division over Tampa Bay, probably. But anyways, that being said, I think Washington's gonna get be second place in the division, and they're gonna be the fifth seed in the standings. So I got them as 11-6 in that one. And third place, I'm sorry, Cowboy fans, I gotta put you at 8-9 this year. I will give you credit of the doubt with this. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be really tough, going to play some tough football this year, but I don't think it's not going to be enough. So we'll see. You never know. But that rate, I'm going to take Dallas in that division. I think they're going to be an 8-9 team this year. And in the last place, New York Giants, 13-4. So that's what I say about that one. And by the way, they could be tied they could get the second round pick or the third pick. I have a tie for one of the worst in that. That's on the AFC side. Anyways, continuing on with that, let's go to the NFC North. The NFC North in this one, despite what Detroit had lost their two offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, I still like them winning that division this year because I really, really like what Dan Campbell. Say what you want. Great coach. He held them the team to success. But, to say the least on that, he brought in, for his offensive coordinator, he brought in passing coordinator from the Broncos last year, was John Morton, I believe it was. And he helped Bo Nix to be one of them. At least I think he got Rookie of the Year last year, if I'm not mistaken. But now they hired him as the offensive coordinator. If he was the passing coach for being the assistant and the assistant, I think he was in the offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. How he did. Let's see what he can do with Jared Goff in the hands. So I actually like what they picked up on that one. So I think, and of course they got defensive coordinator Ravel Shepard. So, who went from linebacker coach for the Lions last year to the defensive coordinator. So, I think that's still going to stand out. Players know him. Players respect him. But if Detroit does not get if they stay healthy this year, I think they can get that division. It's anyone's team. It's a tough division in the NFC North. I had a hard time picking this one, but I really like Detroit winning this in that division. Dan Campbell and the Lions know how to win division games. That's key. But second place, and by the way, Detroit number 2 in the NFC standings. And second place, Green Bay. Hey, I'll give Green Bay credit of the doubt on this. I think they're doing really good with Jordan Love and everyone in Green Bay. But they're in a tough division right now with Green Bay and Minnesota, which I'll get to Minnesota in a bit. And of course, Chicago's going up in the rankings too. But I'm gonna give credit to the doubt. Green Bay, they're gonna hang in there. But I think they're not gonna get it this year. And who knows? And I got them as the 6th seed in the NFC. So I got them at 10-7. I think Minnesota, I got them in third place. Reason being is I'm not too sure. They didn't really do much to impress me in the off season. I know they haven't really done much since in that case. But anyways, but still, they got J.J. McCarthy coming back from an ACL injury. We'll see how he produces out of that, and we'll go from there. Anyways, and I think Chicago's going to get the last place in the division, but I think they're going to have a better record than last year with 7-10. Last but not least, the NFC West. I'm not going to lie, I really had a tough one in this one as well. And for the first place, I'm going to continue with the Rams in this one. I think the Rams can really eke this one out this year. And what I mean by that, I think it's going to be much tougher than it is last year, which I'll get to that in a bit. But I think the Rams are going to get the division this year. And so I like the Rams at 12-5. So pretty much everyone's coming back. Sean McVay knows what he's doing in LA. I think he's got to get them on the heels in the Rams and get that division. Second place, San Francisco. I'm not going to lie. San Francisco had an injury-prone season last year with everyone getting hurt, like Nick Bosa. And I think George Kittle was hurt last year, and they had Christian McCaffrey got hurt last year. So they had an injury bug all around them on both sides of the ball last year. And that really hurt the San Francisco 49ers in that run. But if they're healthy, I think they can sneak up on the playoffs and get a playoff spot. And I like San Francisco in that at the 7th seed in that. I think of all that. Usually, if they have injury pro season, they have a little bit of a rust. Then they start catching on after. So I think that's what's going to happen with San Francisco. Yeah, third place, I got Arizona. I think they'd be doing okay, but it's not going to be enough. I'll have them in 8 and 9. In last place, Seattle at 7 and 10. Let's switch sides right now. Let's go to the AFC right now. Let's kick things off in the AFC South. The AFC South is going to... I would say this is probably a weak division this year, too. I can't see much going on. But the only thing I could see right now is having... I like Houston winning that division. Not going to lie. I really like what Houston has doing really, really well. I think they have a great offensive side of the ball. I think they're going to run on a high-powered offense. I think they're going to cruise in there. And I think because of that, I think they could get the... Houston is going to get the AFC South and the number 4 seed. Second place, believe it or not, Jacksonville Jaguars. I will say this. They had a disappointing season last year. I think I had them winning the AFC South last year, but they just blew it. But to say the least out of that, I really like what they did in this offseason when they picked up Travis Hunter. I really, really like that. I think it's going to have a big, big help on Jacksonville. And they got a two-way player, motivated player. That's going to help them along the way. Use it wisely. That's all I can say for Jacksonville and Tony Khan. So, to say the least out of that. But I think Travis Hunter is going to be a good pick. That was a solid thing what they did. They just surprised everyone getting Travis Hunter. And now he is a Jacksonville Jaguar. So, I think that's going to be really key success for them. But it's not going to be enough. So, I got them at 10 and 7 this year for second place. But not enough to get to the playoffs. I'll get to that in a bit. Tennessee, I'm not keeping my faith in Tennessee right now. All because of one head coach, and which I'll get to that side in a bit. But Tennessee, they're going to be a 4-3 ball club this year, I think. In last place, I got Indianapolis. Because Indianapolis didn't really do much to impress me last year. To help out Richardson, to help him out. Anyways, continuing on with the AFC North. This was a really tough division. I was going to say they have a lot of pickups on both sides of the ball on the divisional line, like Cleveland, Cincinnati, and of course you got Baltimore. But I have to pick one winner, and I have to go with Baltimore in this one. I really like what Baltimore has done, and I think Lamar Jackson's going to have an outstanding, outstanding season. I really, really do. So, I would say that I think this. I'm not going to say this right now, but I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a good year. And Baltimore's going to be my number 1 seed in the AFC this year. Continuing on, second place, believe it or not, the Cleveland Browns. I will say this for Cleveland. I'm not going to lie. I think they finally got a franchise quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. Hear me out on this. I know you're saying he has a lot of false negative stuff on there. As long as he can play football, that's all running good. If he could turn that negative into a positive for Cleveland, they can do some damage this year, especially on that defensive side of the ball with Myles Garrett. And I will say this. I think Cleveland's going to go to the playoffs this year, but as the number 6 seed. Continuing on, Cincinnati and a 9-8 team, but it's not going to be enough. They'll have a bad start and come creaking strong, but it's not going to be enough in the end. for Cincinnati. In Pittsburgh, I have to put them in last place. I'm not gonna lie. I actually don't really like the idea of Aaron Rodgers being in Pittsburgh right now. I really don't like it, and I think it's gonna backfire Mike Tomlin. I hope it doesn't. I think this could be the beginning of the end for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh because of that. And you could say all you want, and I like Mike Tomlin as a head coach, but that's not. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to lead him to the promised land. I can understand why Kenny Pickett either, but to say the least out of that, I really don't like Pittsburgh chances at all. No. They have a, and I hate to say it, and I think Mike Tomlin's going to have a losing season this year. I really, really do. And that's going to really cost Mike Tomlin his job in Pittsburgh. I hate to say it. I'm making an early prediction. One coach firing this year could be Mike Tomlin. And I feel so bad for him because it will not be his fault. Because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the guy for Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. If he was in his prime, if he didn't go to the Jets, maybe they would have gave him a chance out of that. But since he went to the Jets and had an injury and he had a bad year last year, I'm not taking my chances. I'm not. Anyways, continuing on, the AFC East. This is going to be a good one. But anyways, coming in at the first place, I like Buffalo to win that division. As long as Josh Allen and Sean McDermott is still there, they're dominating that division. That's how it is. But my only key element is they haven't picked anyone to replace Stephon Diggs, which I will get to him in a bit. So, the thing is, if they could get into the playoffs, that's a good coaching job for Sean McDermott. I will say that. All you have is Josh Allen as your quarterback and no good wide receiver talent. That'd be a good coaching job right there. Really good coaching job. But for them, I got Buffalo as winning the AFC East and the number 3 seed in the AFC East. And my second place team, oh, you're gonna really surprise me on this. I'm picking my Patriots to win getting a wild card spot and second place in the division this year. I'm not gonna lie, the Patriots did what they needed to do to fix when they do on that offense. They got in Mike Vrabel, which I think Tennessee's gonna regret it to this day, but they added Stephon Diggs in the draft, and they were one of the worst offensive lines in the league last year. And they picked up Will Campbell in the draft, and I actually like that draft pick from Will Campbell. I think he's going to be a beast of an offensive line player. So, and I think because of that, I think they fixed that offensive side of the ball, adding Stephon Diggs, and they have Hunter Henry coming back, which could be his last year. I don't know. Now they have Stephon Diggs. Now they have an offensive weapon to work with. And I forget right now on the top of my head, they drafted a running back out of Ohio State. I forget his name on the top of my head, but anyways, they actually fixed a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball, and we could see a different offensive team for the Patriots this year. I'm kind of excited about that, but I'm not stretching my things yet. I'm not trying to be a homer, but they actually improved on the offseason this year, and because of that, I like them at 10-7 this year, and getting the number 5 seed in the wild card. Yeah, continuing on, third place, the New York Jets. I think they did the right thing to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, but I think they're in a whole reset mode. I think that's what it is. But they have a good defense. I think they're going to lead them away, but they're going to have to fix the offense a bit. As for last place, I'm sorry, Dolphins fans. I'm picking you guys in the last place, but you are going to be contending in the division. I will say that. But I don't really see much about what's going to happen with Miami this year. There's going to be a lot of changes in Miami this coming next around this time next year. I'm not too sure if Tua will come back, depending. I hope he doesn't get hurt again. That's what I'm scared the most about that. And Tua Tagovailoa is going to have another concussion, and I'm scared of my life for him. I understand he loves the game. I'm not going to lie. I don't blame him. Keep playing as long as you play. But, I wish him the best. I really do. But I really think he needs a good supporting cast around him. And that's my problem with Miami right now. I don't think they have a great supporting cast around. But we'll see. We'll see. That's why I picked them in the last place. And going in, the AFC West. All right. The defending AFC champs, I still like them in that division. As long as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are still there, they're gonna give everyone in that division a hard time. And of course you got Travis Kelce too. And they're like my Patriots right now with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. That's the way I see it. Anyways, continuing on. I like the Denver Broncos in second place this year. Yeah, I really do. I like Denver, and I think Bo Nix is going to do some damage. I think he can flat out play. That's plain simple. So, anyways, I think Bo Nix is going to make some noise this year. Try to get Denver in the playoffs for the first time since their Super Bowl, I think it was. So, since Super Bowl, I think Super Bowl 50 since the last time they were in the playoffs. So around somewhere around there. But anyways, well, that's all said and done. I think Sean Payton's gonna have some work to do with Bo Nix. I think they're gonna work out together. Third place, the LA Chargers. Hey, don't get me wrong. I like Justin Herbert, but besides Keenan Allen, which I'm not too sure if he's retired or not, or anything, or if he came back or anything like that. Heard something about that. I could be wrong, but they got one thing, and I don't think it's enough for the LA Chargers to do some damage. We'll see, though. And for last place, I got the Las Vegas Raiders this year. Yep. Las Vegas hasn't really done much for me this year. It didn't impress like they could be a contender and things like that. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's my early playoff predictions. My early division predictions. Let's get on to my early playoff predictions. All right, though. We got the early playoff prediction time right now. So anyways, that's how my division goes. Number 3, Buffalo, and number 6, Cleveland. I think if this would have happened, I really like Buffalo to win that game on that outright right there. And of course, number 2 and number 7, division rivals, the Denver Broncos. This could be a dogfight for this one. I think the top dog is Kansas City. So I'm going to take Kansas City in that game. And, of course, the Houston Texans and my Patriots. I'd be really happy if my Patriots make the playoffs, but I really can't see much of anything else. Houston with the playoff experience. Drake May, don't really have much playoff experience. I really can't. I think he might go back around next year. So, I like Houston winning that. So, and if that would have been the case scenario, Buffalo and Kansas City would have met up again. Yep. And of course, Houston and Baltimore in there, because Houston's number 4 and number 1's Baltimore. And number 2 is Kansas City, and Buffalo number 3. And it's in Kansas City as the rematch of the AFC Championship game last year. It might come down to the same thing what happened last year for Buffalo. I'm taking Kansas City to win that. I'm sorry, if you can't beat Kansas City for Buffalo, this could be the end for Sean McDermott. Maybe. Not sure yet. And for Houston and Baltimore, I think Baltimore's going to make a statement this year. That's why I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win that game. So, and for the AFC Championship game, I got the Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the second time this happened, and from a couple years ago, and it was in Baltimore, and Kansas City won it. I think this is the beginning of the end for Kansas City. I think this is the good stepping stone for Baltimore. Baltimore finally cracks Kansas City, and they get a win out of that. I'm taking Baltimore, representing the AFC in Super Bowl 60. In the NFC side, number 6 Green Bay, number 3 the LA Rams. Despite success for the LA Rams, I like them to win. I'll take the Rams to win that game. In the rematch for the couple of years ago for the NFC Championship game, I got number 2 Detroit and number 7 San Francisco. Like I mentioned about the injury problem for San Francisco, this could be a little rust I had and a little rustic. Could affect them in the playoffs. That's not gonna. Detroit's gonna take advantage of that. I'm gonna take Detroit to win that. Honestly. And number 5 Washington Commanders, number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can say what you want about Tampa Bay. I really like them. I think they can make some noise this year. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win that game. If it happens. And if my prediction is correct, number 1 Philadelphia, number 4 Tampa Bay, number 2 Detroit, number 3 LA Rams. So let's do number 2. Let's do Detroit and LA. The way things are happening for Detroit, if they're healthy enough, I think they can beat out the LA Rams this year. I'm going to take Detroit over the LA Rams to win that game, if that happened. And if Philadelphia and Tampa Bay would have played, Philly fans are going to kill me with this. But I think Tampa Bay's going to make, if there's going to have, one team's going to have a playoff stretch this year, going to have a big playoff stretch, I think it's Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay as an upset to beat Philadelphia in this game. And for the NFC Championship game, I got Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. Detroit finally cracks the code, and they go to the NFC Championship game, and win the NFC Championship game, and they go to the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. If that would have gone that way. So, and for my Super Bowl my early Super Bowl 60 this year, I got the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions in this Super Bowl. And the way this is all right, sorry Lions fans, your dream's going to get shattered when you're going to face Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson is hungry for a championship. I'm taking Baltimore as your Super Bowl 60 champions this year. So I like Baltimore winning the Super Bowl this year. With the final score on that, Baltimore 27, Detroit Lions 24. All right, since we got the early playoffs out of the way, let's get on to the Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year is going to be John Harbaugh. I won't lie. The way they're going to be playing, John Harbaugh is going to be outstanding and be a good Coach of the Year candidate. Comeback Player of the Year, I like Adrian Hudson from the defensive end for the Lions. He was one of the guys who was really hurt from the injury-prone Lions last year. I think if he can make a great comeback success this year if they go to the Super Bowl. MVP, I like Lamar Jackson being the favorite to win MVP this year. I think he's going to have a dominant year this year. So, I like Lamar Jackson winning the MVP this year. And for Defensive Player of the Year, I like Myles Garrett for the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to make some noise this year. We'll see how that turns out. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I like Jared Reese from the LA Rams. I think it was a great pickup for the Rams to pick up on that one. And Offensive Rookie of the Year, I like Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going to make some noise this year. It's going to be very interesting what he's going to have in store for them this year. So, those are my award honors on that. Now I get some announcements to make. All right, though. Some announcements. I got 7 more slots left in my fantasy football. The start date is August 29th, 8 o'clock, and that's a Friday night right there. So don't miss out. You got plenty of time to get your slots in. It's a free league. Definitely join in on the fun with that. I'll have that link in the comments below on that. Also check out. Remember I mentioned I was going to do something different this year? I'm going to do some cleaning products this year. Check out this product from Pirate Soap Company. This one's called the, what is this called again? Oh yeah, Tortuga Sunrise. It's a spicy citrus soap right there. Smells really good. And it lathers really well too. Smells great and has a spicy citrus scent. It has a lot of good skin benefits in this one, and they have a good storyline in there. Definitely check out the Pirates Soap Company. It's a natural soap company in this one. Give this one a try. Have them linked down below. They check out all the other products down there. But definitely give the Tortuga Sunrise a go. This is really good. So, until then, check out my fantasy football and check out these guys too, the Pirate Soap Company right here. I'll definitely put in the link. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. Check out this soap company right there, Pirate Soap Company. Definitely check them out, and I'll put that link down below for their company. You could, and I don't have a coupon code. I wish I did, so I could help you guys out with it. But I think roughly you're looking at $7 for a soap brick. So that's kind of, and if you include shipping, you're looking at a couple like $9 or $10 for $2 or $3 on shipping, it depending where you live. So I'm not gonna dispute that. But until then, you definitely got to give a Pirates Soap Company a check out. It's a really fantastic brick. So until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying, rock out and good luck to your fantasy football, survivors picks, and all your picks this year. And don't forget to join up my fantasy football on Yahoo.